downtown Mill Bay. And we got reactions. However, first we're going to talk about class. We're going to talk about learning skills. Has the bell, that was the bell for the start of class, right?
I think 11, 10.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what my school says.
Oh yeah. What? They've always got it ringing half an hour wrong. Okay.
5 minutes early.
5 minutes early. Okay. I'm going to use the bad news now. Bad news. Not a bad mouse.
No, we didn't have another one.
Taring.
Yeah, you hit the bottom part.
What they'll do in energy drinks is they'll add, you'll read the amount of caffeine and you go, oh, that's all the caffeine. But then they'll add other forms of caffeine. Taurine is another form of caffeine. And I'm always curious how they're skirting those bylaws. Starbucks for a while, I mean, it's coffee, so they don't have to do it, which is kind of weird. The biochemistry. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been going on a while. What did you do to it?
I tore my ACL back in March and I got a surgery this summer.
Okay. Will we continue to get on with the program? Okay. So, live stream. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Well, but you will have it for reference. And I'm trying to figure out a way that the notes get automatically added to a folder, so that there may be, because the file I use is not one, but there might be a reader students can use, so you just see the notes as opposed to listening to live stream after I go through. So that I'll see if I can get that a little faster. Okay, if I can get your attention. Before we start with the chemistry portion. In a very short amount of time, I'm going to be asked to judge you and sit in a giant throne, and then I dole out things like learning skills and marks. Your first judgment doesn't have marks on it. The only thing it has is learning skills. You get learning skills throughout the year. If you're new to Brentwood, learning skills, or now are they called approaches to learning? Yeah, they changed the name because they take the old thing. It used to be called an effort rating, how much effort you put in. Then they changed it to learning skills, so that you can show that these are skills to apply to your learning. And then they're called approaches to learning, to say that that's how you approach learning. Because if they kept the same name, you might get used to it and be less confused. I'm not entirely sure why they do that. Let's go to view, and let's get this a little bigger. But it's the same thing as learning skills. I still call it learning skills because I'm not on the ATL list apparently yet. My abbreviation for these is down below in brackets. Manages time, assignments, and material. Comes to class prepared and on time. Meets assignments. Assignment and assessment deadlines. Has an effective system for keeping and tracking notes, handouts, and assessments. Focuses during classroom activities. Stays on task. Responds to questions when prompted. Listens actively. Takes notes. Asks questions. Or offering solutions and commentary. Positive impact on a peer's ability to focus. A lot of times I will ask you for a self-reflection on these. This does not mean that you have to be the most outgoing person, and neither does this. Interacts with members of the class and the teacher in an encouraging and inclusive manner. Contributes to structured discussion or activity. Positive, helpful questions and commentary at the table level are as welcome as contributions to the whole class. This also doesn't mean, because sometimes students read contributes positively to learning environment, and they're like, I don't put up my hand all the time. So that must be low. It's not. If you are positive in class, you're working when I put you at the board, you are engaged, then you are good there. Focus during classroom activities, responds to questions when prompted, listens actively by taking notes or asking questions. I think I already read that one. Takes responsibility, seeks assistance, clarification, extensions in a timely manner as necessary, applies feedback for improvement, prepares for assessments, and stays current with the course, uses enriched vocabulary in all writing, highlighted or bolded. So you're using the terms we're learning in chemistry class, because there's a lot of new terms. Short and long-term goals, indicates areas of weakness, practices to improve, attends tutorial. So essentially, you know what your grade is, and you're working to either improve it or maintain it depending on what you're doing. And the school says you are doing this either rarely, occasionally, often, and habitually. And from an advisor perspective and a teacher perspective, often and habitually are good. You're doing it often. Occasionally and rarely means you need to put some more effort in. And the reason I say that is because you are going to get a practice for every quiz we do. It's going to be due in the week before the quiz, but I don't take it in. When do I take it in? When did I take it in?
The day of the quiz.
The day of the quiz. Because what I want to know is what did you do to study for the quiz? And then people say, but I'm not quite done. Can I take it back home and quickly fit it? And like, no, the quiz is over. And it wasn't due marks. You had the answers. I just wanted to see how you did. So, posted I think on here.
Can I go fill my water bottle, please?
Yeah, just run. It's behind it. Ah, no, I moved that. First day assignment. What? Open. I should put the. What the? What's going on?
Try pressing on the three dots.
I am going to just reload the page, and then I will hit it. And now it works. So when I looked at this worksheet, and this is indicative of many of the ones I use. So the two that I looked for, this one was takes responsibility for progress, and manages time, assignments, and materials. So 1, has the student included any notes or reflections that they learned or found challenging? So beside a question, you were like, hey, I got this one wrong, I need to do this next time. Don't want to show any current examples. Yeah. These are some from years previous. And that would be an example of a very simple form. They're writing down like units because they forgot to put in their units. And so remind themselves when they go through. Got them. They're writing little notes to themselves. Units were converted wrong. Keep decimals in place. Do not round. They're writing little notes to themselves so when they go back to study or they're studying before their test, they can go, oh, right, remember to do this. So do you have any reflections on your learning on that particular sheet? And then did you mark it? Because they provided you the key, so did you just do it and get it all wrong? Or you don't know? Or maybe you got it all right and you just didn't know that you had to mark it. I'm looking to see if there's signs of marking. And then I'm looking to see, can I read it? Is it well organized? Is it clear? Is it hard for me to understand which is your answer and which is the answer you didn't want me to mark? And this is on manages time, assignments, and materials. And then is it complete? So was it here on the day of the quiz, when you started the quiz, so that you could have studied for it, ready to go and all completed? Habitually, often, rarely, submitted on time with all sections to mostly incomplete or not submitted on time. So, if I was to give you a learning skill right now, I'll split off and choose that ATL. They are on the sheet to print out. So you have, it's got 2 lines on it. First one, it says duty, and then the rest of it, the second one says time, that reflects those two areas. At the very end, you'll say either OF or HA or OC or RA, and that's often or habitually or rarely or occasionally. It has scores because I mark it out of 4. 1's rarely, 2's occasionally, 3's often, and 4 is habitually. You do not, it's not included as a mark with your other work. This is pure learning skills. So this is not affecting your marks. So you don't have to worry like, oh, that's a C+. It's not a C+. It's an often, which is good. It'll give you that. This is only the first one. So it's the first one. I've explained it, told you what to do. Some of you were like, I did okay on my quiz, but I didn't do okay on this. I'm going to take the next one, and then if you greatly improve, I'll say, oh, we'll start on the next one. If you did well on this, I'm going to keep it around. So come on up when I call your name so I can get this out quick. Alex, Tom, Eric, Switch, Aria, Ariel, Tyler, see who, Joe, soccer, Isabel, Katie, Sterling, Jaden, Jessica, Natsuho, Isaac, Charlotte, Guy, no Charlotte, Kiona, at all? Oh, basketball. And we're now in Cowboys, so we're on about B. Secondly, Tyler, Jaden, Natsuho, Tyler, yes, Tyler, Jaden, Natsuho, Isabel, Ariel, Katie, see who?
Oh, Mr. I couldn't mark this because they have the, like, key, like the answer key, and I forgot it here.
Yeah, that's terrible. Better than that. Isaac? Yeah, Isaac, no, there we go. Charlie? Alex? Tom? Joe?
Is this the one that's
Here. P. Eric?
yeah, Eric.
Sterling is not here. And JoJo's in the other one.
You also got a key. What about all things? What's the first one?
Okay. A worksheet will likely, and then just for review for your upcoming quiz next week, or when we've done the week before. So it's on a small amount of material. You'll have a worksheet we posted sometime today or tomorrow. You don't have to prep on those days. On Monday night, do attempt the worksheet. That way you have Tuesday tutorial in order to come and see me if you're having difficulties with it. The marks come up at least by Wednesday, so that people who have the quiz on Thursday can mark it, and Friday, and I'll be asking to see your worksheet. So, a lot of you probably didn't know that you should be marking things when you have the key. This is demonstrating that you're preparing for something. If it's super easy and you have no notes to make about doing it because you got it all right and you check it all off, that's great. You can even write that, and then I'm not so worried about it. But if, however, you're getting everything right, but your quiz mark is really low, what does that imply?
You're cheating for the.
Yeah, it's not really cheating. because you're cheating yourself, which is not wrong. It's just dumb. You're putting down the answer, so I think you're doing well when actually you're not trying to do it, or you're just getting too much help in a way that's not helpful, and that you get a tutor, someone in the house who just gives you all the answers, and you didn't learn the material. So I will take a look at the next one. I'll add that in. This is only the first one. It doesn't really mean very much, and I may get rid of it. It's intended as a learning point.
What does
Is that your first big one?
your first? My
Your
dad
first?
has like 90. That's
Your
your
first?
I don't play that often.
Is
And
skin first and then like
to win that one, just so you know, I hid in a bush the whole game. And
How
and
did
when
you get that skin before you got your first victory?
Because you spend money.
you just buy it.
You
Just buy the skin.
Before you got a
You
victory.
just buy it. Anyway, I was one of 3 people left. There was 2 others that were shooting. One went really low, so I thought maybe I could take him out. So I shot him, came out of the bush for the first time. He thought the other guy shot him, and he then killed him. And then I killed him.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you crank 90?
I don't even know what those words mean.
You can crank 90.
Yeah.
Do you think you can crank 90?
Now I think I got that skin, and then I got Groot. I think Groot was the best one, because although it's not pay to win, Groot is kind of like camouflage.
Really?
Yeah, he's brown, and he looks vaguely like a tree. They worked reasonably well, I thought.
Buy the girl skin for smaller hit bosses.
Is this new vote?
Yeah.
What does the score mean?
Like the numerical score?
Yeah.
Or the HA and the OC?
No, like this numerical score.
Nothing. When I put in a score for learning skills, 4 is like perfect. So it's marked on a 4-point scale. So 4, habitually, 3 often, 2 occasionally, 1 rarely. So it's not a percentage in the traditional sense because it's not going into your marks.
So like the 63 would be like a 3? Like 3
Yeah,
out of 4?
yeah.
Oh.
So that'd be like an often, which is fine. Yeah. Yeah. The scores are there because I do it like in a spreadsheet, and then that way I can convert it to the habitually, often, occasionally.
Quiz grade?
Pardon?
This isn't the quiz grade?
This isn't the quiz grade. I have not marked your quizzes, but I should have them actually marked by today. And when I have them marked, I will put them online so you can go and look. So you can check for your quiz mark. I'll probably have them marked by tonight. Yes. You have no idea what? It is your, where's current learning skill. For this. Currently it is.
But like, it has 2 things on it.
Yeah, that's all I got so far.
But like, that's 2 worksheets, not.
No, it's 1 worksheet, evaluated in 2 parts. So the worksheet I evaluated based on time. So the worksheet has 2 parts because was it in on time and is it fully completed? Oh. So if you,
I didn't have the worksheet.
well then not in on time, not fully completed.
I didn't even get it.
It was on the Google Classroom, posted. It said when it was posted, it's for your quiz, I'm expecting you to do the things that are posted. And the second thing I did was the responsibility. Are you marking it? Do I see corrections? Do I see self-reflection? And as I said, I don't have to count this one. Do better on the next one. Another one will go up on the Google Classroom.
Can we resubmit it to get better?
If you're willing to put that in there with proper corrections, sure, I'll look at it again.
Okay.
That's a good question.
So this grade.
But I leave that to you. I'm not going to recollect it. You have to bring it to me in tutorial.
Okay.
Okay?
In Ellis House, we have this rule where like we
Oh yeah, dude, don't tell me about that, because that's not my problem.
Yeah, but does this count as?
The only time it counts
Is when grades.
is when I get to the grade point,
Yeah.
when I have to put in grades. So by then it should, because we'll have done another one. What do they do?
Wait, why does it say old what?
Bonds, like James.
What? Oh, like Orion. Like Orion Snow.
Like Orion Snow. Is Orion Snow James Bond?
Well, in the video he was.
Oh, I didn't see the video.
No, I thought assembly.
Yeah.
I was not at assembly. I found 3 boys in the house that shouldn't be there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Clues. Odor, texture changes, increasing temperature, change in energy, decreasing temperature, difficult to reverse. And now that I just gave you a whack load of feedback on, here's what I'm doing for learning skills. We should do, hold it. Just want to make sure I'm timing this right. What time does class end on a Saturday? We got 10:55, yeah. Let's go up and do one thing, and then if we have time, we're going to do a second thing. So, stand up. We're going to do a demo.
in the quality of view. All that would have been like astonishing.
Oh, where's my goat? Zhang Zhao. Playing soccer? For me, it was something to do there. Zhang Zhao is like the one who's my Who? Noob? Oh my god.
Bro, you'd be in there for like 5 years.
That's true.
Okay, what time does class end?
37.
55.
55?
Not 57.
Ooh. I'm the first person to stain the floor. I'd like to be the first person to stain the fume hood.
They stand the what?
Fume hood.
Oh.
Because that's harder to do. Yeah, we might do one more. So, what I'd like you to do then, I'm going to go get that demo ready to go. It won't take me too long. But I'd like you to have, first of all, there's a couple more clues missing. I'm going to come back and I'm going to ask what those might be. I would like some examples of chemical reactions, but the first one is the most important one, and that's the one that occurs. What is the mitochondria?
Powerhouse of the cell.
Oh, that wasn't very enthusiastic.
Yeah,
Everybody knows it.
respiration.
Mitochondria is?
Powerhouse of the cell.
Yes. Completely separate body with its own DNA that parasitized eukaryotic cells a long time ago and then became a permanent part of us. What chemical reaction occurs? Yes. Cellular respiration. So that is what provides the energy for your entire body and is responsible for most of your organs. You need oxygen so that mitochondria can use it to burn stuff. You need to get rid of CO2, because that's their waste product. Your whole circulatory system and your lungs are all to deliver stuff to the mitochondria, amongst other things. Okay, do some there, and if you could take a guess at what those are supposed to be for physical change, and I'm just going to go ahead and quickly set up.
Bro, what else? Wait, are we supposed to do cellular and then the other thing where
He like
we go
supposed
first?
to fill these out in this, and then do the physical change. And feel
No, as in like this. Do we name like some
examples of chemical changes.
Ready?
Like bird.
What you actually, I thought you were
What's a chemical reaction? Chemical change.
For someone else.
Oh wait, dude. Dude, how do you know that?
respiration, burning, fuse? I don't know. For chemical change, because I only know respiration, burning, and like.
Yeah, ready? Yeah, ready?
I did respiration and burning. I need respiration. That's like a kinetic reaction.
No, because like if you
Wait, cause I don't know, cause you said last time endothermic and exothermic reactions don't count in this one. Like like, I don't think he's teaching us anything.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what's the common one?
Maybe I'm just
Electrolysis.
How do you spell that?
Isn't like the singular term electrolysis?
How do you spell that?
Are we doing electrolyzation or electrolysis?
I'm doing electrolysis.
How do you spell that?
I don't know.
Sound it out.
Yeah, it literally sounded out. When in doubt, sound it out.
Yeah.
Electrolyzation.
Yes, literally.
What else?
So electro
Electrolyzation.
that cannot be right.
It is. I swear.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it on dictionary.com.
Are we at to that page? I need to copy it.
Sure. Okay. What more chemical reactions are there? What's the covalent bonds?
Like he's in our house and one.
What's it
But I call
called?
him Bubba. Yeah, that's yeah, that's what we
Okay.
call him. Everyone calls
Come on up for a second time.
Why should we call him?
Fume this end right beside where we were.
Really?
Yes, it is electrolysis. I knew it. Electrolyzation is electrolysis. I totally told you. Yo, what?
Ja, wir machen uns alle Mund ins Wasser und dann laufen wir nackt aufeinander zu und spucken und machen.
hard. Yeah, hard. I don't think that's healthy.
Well, it isn't. What do you got?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
No,
I've heard enough. I've heard enough.
Jelly, bro. You get like a
I've heard enough. You didn't last the whole month, bro. I know you did.
I'm new, bro. I definitely did. I did. I know you failed the first like 2 days.
I did not, bro.
Bro, I like you
We
win.
did.
It's not the best yet.
Yeah, but you did last year.
So my chemical reaction is done.
Tyler, I know you failed in the first week. We're trying this all.
Change the color, change the temperature. What are we missing from here? We got increase in temperature and we got heat. And we got decrease in temperature. It gets cold. So that's a change in energy. We had odor and texture changes. There's one we're missing. One we definitely saw with the Elvin's toothpaste. What was given off? Steam, which is a
Gas.
it's a gas. So if you get a new gas, liquid, solid forms. And again, water going to ice is the new solid. So it's a clue. It's not a generic, but you can usually tell, like, oh, this ice has a lot of the same properties as water. This brand new solid is a new color. It has a new texture. It has all these things. So it is a new state. Does anybody know what we call a solid when it comes out of a reaction? Usually in an aqueous reaction. I don't know if you've heard, you'll abbreviate it as precipitate, PPT. But if I use that, that's what a precipitate is. And it's called that because it looks like little bits of rain coming out of your test tube, so they call it a precipitate. Some examples of chemical reactions. Yes. Burning. So everybody likes a good combustion. Yeah.
Oh, electrolysis.
Electrolysis. What is electrolysis?
When like it becomes charged with electricity.
Yeah, what would you use it for? Give me an example of one.
I don't know. I just remember it.
Oh, you just remember the word. Well, that's
I
good.
just remember it in the textbook.
Do people still bronze like your first shoes? Have you ever heard of that?
What?
Coating things in metal, chrome things,
Oh,
gold
yeah.
plate things.
Like with the cars.
Yeah, you can metal plate things with this.
Oh, also, doesn't it change the color of some metals, like and like some patterns?
I'm not that skilled in it to know if it does. I would assume that if you put on copper, it looked like copper. But maybe there's fancy things they can do with different types of metals.
Like especially with like Damascus. And you can do
Oh,
different
I don't think
colors.
that's electrolysis. That's a lot of folding.
No, as in no. If you use Damascus steel and you like use electrolysis, it will change like the colors and like accentuate the patterns.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that. Any other reactions? Yeah.
Covalent bonds forming.
That is a class of reactions. It's a little too broad. Give me an example of something where covalent bonds form. Or are broken.
Breathing.
Moving?
Breathing.
Breathing. Breathing goes back to cellular respiration. Because you breathe, the oxygen diffuses in. That's not a chemical reaction. But then it gets your mitochondria, gets used with some glycogen and burns things up. Yeah? Explosions. We have burning, but now we have burning with passion. My heart is not just burning for you, it is exploding for you. Pardon? Other chemical reactions. You've seen so many. Sometimes when you leave things outside over a long period of time, they slowly start to turn red.
Melting.
Red. Pardon?
Melting.
Melting is a physical change. So if we went to here, I could put that in here. So melting is not. You've never seen something turn red? Yeah? Rusting.
I thought it turned brown.
Brown.
Kinda like
Actually, technically, brown is orange. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very red orange, but yeah. Although a good iron oxide that's pure looks awfully, awfully red. Any others?
Boiling.
Boiling
Bruh.
is a physical change.
No, that's why I said.
Oh no, I'm looking for one last chemical change. One last chemical change? Some things you can make at home. Nobody's ever fermented, made yogurt, baked bread.
Yeast.
Yeast, pardon? Wine?
Fermentation.
Fermentation. So you can ferment wine. You can ferment and make fermented pickles. There's a ton of ways to preserve food. And you have creatures that make yogurt. I know someone growing up, their parents or their grandparents had a waterbed. Whenever their parents were over, they would take cups, sealed cups of milk, put it in with a bit of yogurt in it, put it in the corners of the waterbed because it was the right temperature, and you'd have yogurt in 24 hours. Y'all nodding. You've seen that happen? Yeah.
Disgusting. Bro, I just hear that slosh.